I've wanted to learn how to do this for years, and this week, after 6 hours of practice, I was finally able to land the thumb around pretty consistently. While filming this video, I learned that this skill goes incredibly deep, with an entire community dedicated to doing crazy pen spinning moves like this, and this. But to keep it simple, I decided to learn one of the most basic pen spinning tricks, the thumb around. This is the one that you've probably seen people do at school or work or wherever people spin pens around their thumbs. As you will soon find out, I came into this skill with way too much confidence and, as usual, documented the whole process so you can see the failures and successes that I had along the way and maybe learn a thing or two. I decided to come outside today and do this skill outside because I am just so tired of being inside all the time. So I'm thinking we can get like 3, 4, or maybe even 5 pen skills mastered today. I have no idea, but I'm feeling pretty confident.
This one is on the thumb around.
That actually doesn't look too hard. Pen spinning, attempt number 1. Oops. So the goal is for it to...
Again, this is a basic trick. Moving your thumb.
This is so much harder than I was expecting. Come on. Hey, that one was pretty close. I think it's all about the catch right now. Well, and release. Ooh! Look at this beauty. Look at the bird. Oh God. Look at this flower. Nice. Nature's just great sometimes. So at this point, there wasn't a whole lot of action going on, but there were a couple big mistakes I was making that I wanted to point out. One thing that I was doing totally wrong here was flipping the pen with both my finger and thumb. I thought I had to do that to get the pen spinning properly, but what you really want to do is keep your thumb as straight as possible and flip the pen around it with your middle finger. Just one. Come on, just give me one. I was also doing the trick completely wrong. Rather than throwing the pen around my finger, I was kind of throwing it up and catching it. Still looks cool, but that means that this doesn't really count. Oh! Yes! 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 Oh, that feels good. It's totally okay to feel stoked about it though, because I was finally making progress. What I love about days like these is that I've been planning to learn how to spin a pen on my finger since like high school. There's a couple kids who could do it in our grade, and I thought it was cool, but I've never really gone for it. And then now I've spent like an hour and a half just focusing on it, and like I'm getting decent. And I think by the end of today, I'm gonna get pretty good. I don't know, that's awesome. It's getting pretty cold out there, so I decided to come back inside. And also my fingers were getting to the point where they were like, I'm pretty sure less dexterous than if they were warm. Also right now with this initial move, I feel like I'm doing more of a throw it and catch it than like a roll over the thumb. At this point, I started messing around with a number of different pens, watching a bunch of tutorials, and was slowly getting better. I do find that the larger pens are easier. Oh yeah. All right, the sound of the pen falling was getting very annoying, so laying this shirt down, that doesn't work. It's really interesting how much just sitting back and taking a break from something when you're getting frustrated, how big of an impact that can have on your ability to learn something. I've been doing this for a long time, but I still get a lot of moments of frustration when I'm learning a new skill, which, you know, is kind of part of it, but you can avoid those feelings. Learning becomes a lot more enjoyable. And you can learn a lot faster too. Oh, look at that. By the end of the first day, I had spent about 5 hours total practicing. My fingers were legitimately sore, but I was able to land about 1 in every 5 attempts. Not as good as I thought was gonna happen that day.
Or maybe even 5 pen skills mastered today.
But still something. Over the next couple days, while editing this video actually, I continued to practice, and as we speak, I can land the pen tricks about 75% of the time, which honestly is very satisfying. Alright, as far as takeaways go for this episode, I think the very first thing is I've linked a tutorial that I found was really helpful, my favorite tutorial of all the ones that I watched, down in the description below. A couple of the things that was missed in that tutorial is I think that using bigger and heavier pens is really helpful, and making sure that when you're starting out at least, that you're throwing the pen with the heavier side down. And then, as I mentioned earlier on in the video, making sure that you're not like flicking the pen with both your finger and your thumb, and just kind of doing like a flick motion with your middle finger and letting the pen wrap around your thumb. Unfortunately, a lot of this just comes down to spending time on it and being patient. I'm sure many of you are going to be able to learn this quicker than I did, especially if you focus on keeping your thumb straight, flicking it with your middle finger, using a heavier pen, and trying to manage your expectations so you don't get super frustrated after like an hour of working on this. Anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next video.